What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another one of Hoggie's Quick Beer Reviews. Today we have Lobster Ale from Belfast Bay, a brewing company up in Maine. I emphasize Maine because if you wonder why they call it Lobster Ale, just remember it's from Maine. Now, before we get into the beer, I have a quick little story to tell you guys. It has to do with today's beer and today's beer glass of choice, which is one of these. Now, I know a lot of you may have seen one of those before. Samuel Adams came out with that design a year or two ago. They call it the sensory glass. Now, it's supposed to enhance the flavor of the beer. They came out with it for their Boston Lager. Let me put up a graphic here. That should help a little more explain what benefits the glass gives you. Regardless, the thing is, I always wanted one of those. I'm a big Sam Adams fan. It's a cool looking glass, you know, and I never got around to getting one. Now, a few weeks ago, it's my mom's birthday. I'm taking her out to dinner. She likes Red Lobster, so we go to Red Lobster. And we're sitting there, and I order a Boston Lager. You know, it's a safe fallback beer that they have in most places. And as we're looking through their little promotional menu, the supplementary menu, they have in the menu a picture of this glass with Sam Adams Oktoberfest, the current seasonal, you know, served with an Oktoberfest served in one of these. And has a little lobster on it, the glass does. And my mom says, I bet you they're going to bring it to you in that glass. I said, no, it's got a little lobster. It's not a real Sam Adams glass. That's probably just for the menu. She says, well, if they bring you the glass, it's going home with me. Lo and behold, about 20 seconds later, here comes the waitress with my Boston Lager in this exact same glass. And I say, cool, a sensory glass, but wait, it has a little lobster on it. See if you can make that out. See, it has a little lobster there. So I'm thinking to myself, well, Red Lobster stole the design from Sam Adams, you know, but they are serving Sam Adams beer in it, so it must be some kind of licensing deal. And on top of that, in the back, the glass says U.S. patent Samuel Adams. So here we go. Sam Adams has a deal with Red Lobster apparently. So my mom took the glass. This went home in her purse, klepto that she is. You know, I didn't want to keep it. I want the real Sam Adams glass. I don't want the Red Lobster glass. But I had to borrow it from her. I let her keep it in her little collection. But I had to borrow it from her because I had to do at least one review in this glass. And I thought to myself, what can I do with the lobster glass? And then I remembered Lobster Ale. I know about Lobster Ale only because the other beer that Belfast Bay brews is McGovern's Oatmeal Stout. A very good oatmeal stout, and one of the first beers I tried when I got into craft beer. My first oatmeal stout, and the first thing that, you know, struck a chord and made me say, I'm going to come back and get this. This Lobster Ale is the other beer that those same folks brew. I believe this is contract brewed by the Shipyard Brewery, but regardless, Belfast only has the two beers, the oatmeal stout and the Lobster Ale. So, lobster glass, Lobster Ale, what the hell. Now these, I had just checked it, let me check again here. Yeah, not a very known beer. There's only 70 reviews on Beer Advocate. The bros haven't tried it, but out of 70 reviews it gets a B. This is an American Amber Ale, or Red Ale, and it's 5% ABV. So yeah, shouldn't be that bad. And I'm just curious, and on top of that I had to match up with the glass. So, let's give it a shot. Let's see how this pours. And by the way, these glasses do enhance the flavor. That was probably the tastiest Boston Lager I ever had, so let's see if it helps the lobster. Hopefully the lobster won't need any help. It's pouring a nice color though. Not a lot of head. Oh, I'll show you the bottle before I put that away. You can see Belfast Bay Lobster Ale, a red ale. Take a look at that there. It looks darker on the camera there, but yeah, this is wow. This is a dark color. This is like a kind of like a dark bock color, a brownish red. Not a lot of head. It's fizzing away. Not the strongest nose either. I'm getting malts. Getting slight hints of fruit, but a lot of malt in there. Not a lot of hops at all. I gotta admit, the nose is a bit disappointing, but hey. Alright. Well, the color's nice, the smell is eh. Let's see what the taste is like. Slightly nutty, but a bit thin. It's not bad. It has an interesting touch to it. Vague hops on the finish. Not so much vague. You can tell they're hops, but they're weak, bland hops. It's not a very strong finish. It's not a very bitter finish. Seems kind of watered down almost. Oh, this beer has so much potential, but it's too thin. It's too thin. Man, you know, I'm not sure what to say here. It's almost there, but it's kind of thin. It's not complete. I should have took a little more time with this beer. So I'm getting good malts, but they're a bit grainy, a bit harsh almost. The hops kind of clean up at the end, but they're not refined. Hard for me to explain it better than that, but this is not a wonderful beer. Reminds me a bit of a brown ale. The malt has almost a bit of a roasted character to it. As you can tell by the color, it's I don't know, man. This is an amber, this is a red ale, this is not to me one of those. I tell you what, I'm gonna drink a few more of these. If my opinion changes or if I figure something else out, I'll post it on my review on my website on beerbreath.com. I'll give this a glass half full just because the flavors are interesting. It's not completely bland. There's something to it, but it's not quite there. Still an interesting beer, and the only lobster ale you're gonna find out there. So I don't know, if you come across it, maybe pick one bottle and check it out yourself. You might like it, but yeah, nothing spectacular here, but at least I got a lobster beer for the lobster glass. Thanks for sharing the beer. Thanks for putting up with the story. Check you next time. Cheers.